to do that. I never used StreamYard.
We'll figure it out. Hey, everybody. Welcome into Loretta MCNary Show. We are live and we are in various locations. The beauty of technology. Let me tell you, I'm super excited about our guest today. We have Deonna Purrazzo, and she's going to tell me the correct pronunciation, and Mickie James. They are world champions. They are with Impact Wrestling. They are performing and kicking butt at the Graceland Soundstage next weekend. So we got them early and we got them first. So I'm going to start with Deonna. How did you get into wrestling? And you just shared something that blows me away. You said you're only 5'1". That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm shorty. I grew up a wrestling fan. I grew up watching women like Mickie James, and to watch them and just see, like, I was empowered by what they were doing on my television screen every single week, and I wanted to build upon that. And so when I found a wrestling school that was local to me in New Jersey, and I gave it a try. That was about 11 years ago now.
Okay, so I have this, and so what you said is going to make no sense, but I'm going to show it anyway. It's crazy. Okay, here, where we have this B-roll of you. There's no way you're only 5'1". Here we go. There's no way.
It's the boots, it's the makeup, it's the hair. We do the hair real big.
Okay, if you say, I'll let you have it. Hopefully I'll be at Graceland next week and I can check the facts. Look at that. That's crazy. You're like a whole different person.
I know.
Okay, look at her. Look at her. So astounding. And so I want to go ahead and introduce our other champion, Mickie James. You have a lot going on too. And this is so amazing. I don't know how tall you are or anything, but you all are just like beasts and giants when you're in the ring.
Well, it is kind of larger than life. I'm not that much tall. I didn't realize I was that much taller than you, Deonna. Because I'm like 5'2.25" if I give myself a little. But with the right shoes, I can hit that 5'4" no problem. It's always
no problem. I'm that way too. I'm 5'3", but nobody knows it or believes it because I never not have on heels, right? So I want to show your clip too, because this is these we see you, and I hate to say looking normal, right? Like a normal, beautiful model, actress, woman, and then you get in the ring and that's all tossed out. No pun, yes, pun intended. So here's Mickie, everybody. Look at her. Ooh.
Oh, there's my friend Deonna.
That's me.
Oh my goodness. Crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me just stop it there. Wow. Woo. Okay, so I'm going to go one at a time here because there is so much goodness right here. I'm going to start with you, Deonna. So let me ask you this question. So you've done so much. You made a significant impact in the world of wrestling. Oh my goodness. Can you share a moment or a match that you consider a turning point in your career and how it shaped your approach to the sport?
The first one that stands out is when I won the Knockouts World Championship for the first time back in 2020. It was kind of my coming out to the wrestling world with Impact Wrestling. And I had been wrestling for a long time up until that point, but I'd never really been given the opportunity to like really shine and show the world exactly what I could do and who I was. And I think for that particular moment in that particular match against Jordynne Grace for the Knockouts World Championship, the whole world saw me as a total package. And it's one of my proudest moments and one of, I think, the defining moments of my career.
Wow. So how long have you been wrestling? How long have you been a pro wrestler?
This year, the end of the year will be 11 years.
Wow. Kudos to you, lady. Okay, so I have another question for a hardcore country. And I know that has something to do with you being also a country music artist too. So I want to share that. So
Oh,
Mickie,
thank
your
you.
career has spanned 2 decades and you've achieved incredible success. So what advice do you have for aspiring wrestlers looking to have a long and impactful career in the industry?
I would say to really hone in on their character development. I think a lot of times, one, find a really good school, because that is important, to find the best school possible that has credibility and trainers who are credible and are professional. That way you can learn, because there's so much more to it than just learning the inside of the ring part. And Deonna can attest to this. But the way the respect backstage is still very big and important in our industry. At least it is to me and to a lot of people. But also the art of like your character and who that is, and defining who that is really the difference maker and your connection with the people, because that's really what it all boils down to, is like connecting with the audience on some level. And the audience, most time, in my opinion, they don't connect in the moves, they connect in the emotions. Just like in any type of storytelling, or if you go to movies, or if you're reading a book or whatever, you'll always gravitate toward this one character that you mostly connect with, and you sympathize or you empathize with. And that's the same as what we do out there. So that, and patience and kindness with yourself, because we're all going to mess up time and time again. Like, the minute you think you're not messing up anymore is probably the minute you should stop wrestling, because we're always learning forever. But yeah, it's been a journey and it's been fun. And I've been able to see like so many different, from when I first started wrestling to the landscape it is today, with people like Deonna. Deonna has been probably my biggest rival since coming into Impact. And I remember wrestling Deonna when she was on the independents, when she was first like kind of coming in, before she even had, the first job, to go there. And then even like synchronicities in our career of La Luchadora and different things like that. But then to come to Impact and have like really be tested on a different level, because the bar has been raised so high for the women, to where equality is not one of those things that we just sit there and we go like, we want equality, or we're there, and now we're getting these opportunities that were never being seen before, between main event spots and different types of matches. And it's due to the talent. The talent, it's the delivering of it on that level, and we keep delivering. So we keep getting them. So it's pretty awesome to still be able to like step in the ring 20 some years later with somebody like Deonna, and really, who tests me every time I'm out there. And it just makes you feel so alive, and like, it's what we prayed for, these moments like this. So.
Absolutely. And I remember back in the day, my dad was just a fanatic when it came to wrestling, right? Local wrestling, because we had it at what we call the Coliseum. So it's so much I want to talk. I know you don't have a lot of time, but so you're performing at Graceland Soundstage, Impact Wrestling, and you guys are seen all over the world. Millions and millions of people love and adore you all, and can't wait to see the show that comes on in Canada and the US. So having all that pressure. So when you're going into the ring, your opponent. Do you study your opponent? Are you doing like basketball? They study their team. It's a sport after all. So are there some people who intimidate you more than others? And if so, how do you manage your nerves? I want to ask both of you that. So Deonna, you can answer first.
Yeah, I think that for me, when I have the hair, the makeup, the costume, when I'm the total package, I call myself the virtuosa. There is no nerves. All I've ever wanted to be was a professional wrestler. So when I step foot in that ring, there's no doubt in my mind, there's no hesitation, there's no worry that I'm the best at what I do. And it doesn't matter who's standing across the ring from me. I want to be better than them, and I want to fight or break their arm or do whatever I have to do to win that particular match. But there is the lead up to that, and knowing I'm going to step in the ring with someone like Mickie James, and who has this incredible history and this lineage, and I do get to study that. When I first started training, my trainer would always tell me, YouTube is your greatest asset and your best friend. Use it to your, when you don't know who you're going to be in the ring with, because you've never wrestled them before, or it's someone that has a storied career. You can go back and you can watch them, and you could study and you can analyze. You could prepare yourself the best you can to go in there and make sure there is no hesitation, there's no worries. So I do that all of the time, no matter who my opponent is, so I can be the best Deonna Purrazzo, the best virtuosa I can be when I step in the ring.
Love that. We need to have you come talk to my Women on the Move group, because we're professional women and we're not up against an opponent who could just literally knock us out and hurt us and slam us. And we need to have that attitude. So what do you say about that, Mickie? Because when I was growing up, I didn't see women like you all wrestling. It was so male dominated. And then when the women did come on, they made sure that we didn't understand they had a feminine side, that it was all just wrestling, and it was all just, there was no camaraderie, there was no sisterhood. So it looks, it feels different now. What do you say?
Yeah, which was on television. I'm sure that's how it was like really portrayed. I think the sisterhood was always backstage. It was just, we were always fighting for this point where we are now, to be taken seriously and given, you know, real opportunities. But I always say, like, you're forever learning. I'm forever learning. And I've definitely learned from Deonna in the ring and from other opponents in the ring. But I definitely have to study my opponents, mostly because, you know, the women are allowed to do so much more now than we ever were. And so because that bar has been raised, and I'm so grateful for it, the women are doing more now than they ever did before. And so I certainly have to like take that time back to like study that opponent just as anyone else, and to see where I fit in, and like what, like Deonna said, so you could prepare and how ours, because stylistically I know that we're going to be so different, but just so that you know that you're going to have the best match possible. Because I can tell you one thing, we are all super, super competitive. And especially I think the women, like, not only are we competitive with one another, but we're still competing against the boys in a sense, in a loving way. I say this, because we're still feel like we have to prove that we belong and we deserve that spot, especially when we get a spot like, and Deonna and I have had it as the main event of the show, which was unheard of a decade ago, you know. But to be able to be given that position, we then have to go like, now we're going to show you that it's the bar's raised. We're raising the bar even higher for ourselves because we demand so much out of ourselves, to show that we have that position because we deserve that position. And now we're going to show you why we deserve that position. And we want to deliver. We want to over deliver every time we're out there. So I think the best time is out there is like when you find those people or those opponents. And I will say that Deonna is one of those for me that brings out and highlights the absolute best in you, right? Like that drives you to be the best version of you, and makes you shine, and you can return that favor and make them shine equally. And then everybody wins, right? And then wrestling wins.
And so true, because I was told or read that the Mid-South Mayhem marks Impact's first events in Memphis in 11 years.
Crazy. I didn't realize that.
It had been that long.
Right.
And you all have, it's Impact Stars, it's going to be a production. Your production truck will be here. There's several other wrestlers, pro wrestlers, they're men and they're women, and you all are putting on the show right here in Memphis, Tennessee at Graceland. And this is something to be celebrated. But I know you have to go. So I had another question for both of you before you go. I can't wait to see you. I'm gonna do my best to try to be there one of those nights for next week, and we'll talk about that once you all are out. I didn't want to spend that time, but I am definitely going to promote that event because I want people to come and experience it.
You will love it.
I know it. You know what? I'm coming for you and Deonna, but I want to see some of the other two. So I just want to support this whole initiative. So wrestling often involves a blend of athleticism, storytelling, and character development. How do you approach crafting your in-ring performance and personality, ensuring it resonates with both the audience and your fellow wrestlers, and that you get a win too, though? How do you both of you go in? Because there's a lot to think about when you go to work. So I'm going to start with you this time, Mickie.
Oh, because that's a very layered question. And I go, oh God. I will say that one of the greatest pieces of advice when I was trying to figure out who my character, and I think that's one of that's the most important first big step, because we're kind of, we've been training in the ring, move wise our whole careers. Like that's what it all starts with. But where most people struggle is with their characters. And I will say, my greatest piece of advice I got from an ECW dojo I did back in, I want to say 99, early 2000. And it was like Tommy Dreamer, Supernova, Simon Diamond, a bunch of wrestlers there. And then there was one woman there, and that was Dawn Marie. And Dawn Marie was very much a valet. She was not a wrestler. She was very much a valet, a character, which is like a manager role. Mm-hmm. And she told me, and I've always been a writer, like I wrote in school, I've always been a writer per se. And she's like, you need to do a bio on your character. And I'm like, like a bio that completely defines who she is, who her family is, what she comes from, where she's from, what type of music she listens to, what kind of food she eats, all of these things, like you were doing a book report or you were doing a legit report. So that way when you can be, it's no longer you're trying to act and be, and what would my character do? What would this character? When the light's on, you just flick the switch and then you become her. And then the more important thing is when the light is off, you can turn her back off and you can go back to being Mickie James, the human being. And I was like, whoa. And it just really resonated with me as far as like trying to figure out, okay, who is she and why does she do the things that she does? Because that's really a key element is the whys. But I was able to do that with every version of that character and every different style of her. That's why they were each unique in their own ways, but there was a lot of similarities because they were all a piece of me, So that, I think that's really important. Like the character part of it and being so comfortable in that is really the key element and the difference maker, I think, for anybody who wants to excel and like be a superstar.
Well, honey, being a world champion, you've totally figured it out. So I know you have to go, but Deonna, can you just answer it briefly for me? I appreciate you ladies for being here.
Absolutely. I mean, I echo the same thing. I struggled mostly with character work up until the last couple years where I knew how to do the wrestling and I built a character around the wrestling, but I didn't have character traits. I didn't have a personality outside of the wrestling. And that was the biggest factor that held me back for so long, was relying on just the wrestling and the wrestling to connect with the people. But once I started to add the coats that I wear and the jackets that I wear and different hairstyles and interact with the people on a personal level, because I was so not necessarily being a character, but being this person that I created. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I'm me times 10. The Virtuosa has very similar interest as Deonna Purrazzo, as I'm sure Hardcore Country Mickie James is Mickie James, the human being, but we can elevate that. And I think that once I got comfortable with knowing the ins and outs of who the Virtuosa was going to be and how she would handle situations and interact with different people, then I was able to interact with the crowd on a different level, because those are the people that matter the most, is my opponent and them. So I agree 100% with what Mickie said. I had to do that same work when I got to Impact Wrestling, and that's what's propelled me to where I am today.
Yeah, I love that. I just got chilled on, Steve.
I know both of you. This, and we as women who are not pro wrestlers, we can take this and use it in our everyday lives as well, because we all wear a lot of hats, and you all are the creme de la creme. You are the champion, world-class champions representing a male-dominated industry. And we're all on, we're all wanting you to win, whether we understand wrestling or not. I want you to win. I want to see this evolve. I know you're women will come behind you and say, Hardcore Country and Deonna, I'm here because of them. I'm an expert because of them. I'm a champion because they were champions first. So thank you so much for stopping by to share that. And I mean, I got new girlfriends now. You all, I'm going to follow you. Come back individually together anytime, and let's talk life and do life together to help women own their power wherever their lane is. Own it. Be confident. You can do this, right?
I love that so much. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, take care, and hopefully I'll see you next weekend.
I can't wait. You're going to love it. It's going to be the best time.
I'll go live there. I'll like,
I love that.
Go live there. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm going to keep talking about it, but I know you got to go. Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.
So they do have to go. They're here in Memphis making all this happen. And let me tell you about Impact Wrestling, Memphis Mayhem. Yes, you remember it at the Mid-South Coliseum. Well, now it's going to be September 22nd through the 23rd at the Graceland Soundstage. The Mid-South Mayhem marks Impact's first events in Memphis in 11 years. And all the Impact stars are scheduled to be there. I have a list of some of them. I just wanted to share that list because you probably know them. I tell you, Memphis is a great place. We have a lot of stuff going on, but this is fun. So let me tell you about Deonna. I showed you her reel first. She is a 3-time knockout world champion, also has held other major wrestling titles such as the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, the AAA Reno de Reinas Championship, a New Jersey native who has been wrestling professionally since 2013. She's ranked number 3 of 100 out of 150 female wrestlers in Pro Wrestlers Illustrated Women's 150 in 2021. She's been on the cover of PWI's June 2023 issue. So just a few months ago, she was on the cover of that. And let me tell you, Mickie James is she's a brand. She's a brand. And I did my research on both of them. And so you can get tickets. So I'll put the link on here, but it's Saturday, September 23rd and Friday, September 22nd. You can get tickets. You don't want to miss this. You want to be there. Let me see if I can find my list of some of the Impact stars, including Alex Shelley, Josh Alexander, Leo Eli Rush, Eric Young, Frank Kazarian, Steve Macklin, Eddie Edwards, Chris Sabian, and Moose, plus Knockouts Trinity, Jordan Grace, Giselle Shaw, and so many others. I'm telling you, if you've never gone, you want to go. And if you remember it being here before, I know it sounds all nostalgic. Even their logo is very nostalgic. I mean, their flyer is very nostalgic for Impact Mid-South Mayhem. Graceland, September 22nd to the 23rd. I will have links in this video that's all over social media and YouTube everywhere. And so you'll know where to go get tickets. And I promise you, I do want to be there. I want to be there. I hadn't been since a little girl. That was my dad's thing. But anytime women are performing at their highest level of excellence, I have to cheer them on, whether I understand it or not, or want to become one. I don't. But just knowing that I actually met some that are at the top of the game, it inspires me to do more, to have more, to believe more, because I believe in the goodness of the Lord. And so what they're doing in the pro wrestling industry, my job is to do that in the media industry and television and continue to bring these kind of stories, because that's what we are all about here. So I want to show you, for those who missed, I have 2 of their reels. I want you to enjoy this. The first one is Deonna Purrazzo. Check this out. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Ow. So this is Deonna. Woo. Look at her. I have to show you the one of Mickie too. It's incredible. You go, girl. You go all the way. So this is Mickie. Ooh. Oh, wow. Wow. So you see Mickie and Deonna in this footage that were both our guests. They're competing against each other. Ooh, go, Mickie. Hardcore country. Oh my goodness, she's coming off the ropes. Woo. Oh, wow. You all can see this live. Yeah, you can see this live at Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee, September 22nd and 23rd. Tickets are on sale now. You don't want to miss this. Tell a friend, take a friend, take a friend, take a friend. I hope to be there. I hope to be there just for some of it. I don't know. I won't be there every day, of course, but I want to go and check it out and get some more footage to go along with this. But it was a true inspiration and joy to meet them here and to know that they're in our area. They're in Memphis, Tennessee, doing what they do best. World champions. Women are leading in this industry, and they're doing it with class and pizzazz and with sistership. Can't ask for a better combination of any sport, right? So I'm loving it. So I'm Loretta MCNary, and in closing, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Your life makes it different.